net for 2023. Before we get started, do we have any emergency or priority traffic for the net? Now they heard, this is Victor Echo 1, Juliet Bravo Lima, VE1 JBL. My name is Jim, and I'll be your net controller for tonight's net. This net meets every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. in the CQ Maritime Room 60207. The net is open to all amateurs in the Maritime provinces and is scheduled for 1 hour. The net is also streaming live on YouTube at Rob VE1RMJ. That's Rob ROV VE1RMJ, so that everyone can follow the net and participate in the chat room. Amateurs will be called in by province. When you check in, please give us your call sign using proper phonetics. After maritime stations are called in, stations from outside the area will get a chance to check in. A reminder, due to a delay in the system, key up for a second or two before transmitting and keep the PTT button on for a second or two after your transmission has finished. Break. Okay, before we get started, do we have the announcements? Anybody with any announcements for the net? Go ahead. Nothing heard. I'll just remind everybody that the Smart 23 will be taking place on May 6th this year. There will be a Friday night meet and greet in Amherst, and a lot of other things that will be taking place. The 3 Fusion radios that will be given away as grand prizes at Smart this year. So if you do get there, buy some raffle tickets and have a chance to win one of the 3 Fusion radios that we will be giving away during the event there. Oh, and to find out more information about the Smart 23, go to the Westcomb Amateur Radio Club's website, Westcomb, WESTCUMB.ca, and click on Smart 23. Okay, with that, let's open it up first for short time and mobile stations. Short time that can't stay around for the whole net, and mobile stations that may be in and out pretty quickly. So short time stations and mobile stations from anywhere. Go ahead.
Victor Echo 1, Foxtrot Oscar X-Ray, VE1 FOX.
Okay, I hope I'm getting out. Curtis heard me. You're the only one, Curtis, VE1 FOX. Just stand by. Let me try it one more time. Any other short time or mobile stations? Short time or mobile stations? Go ahead.
Victor Echo 9, Lima Echo November, VE9 LEN. Victor Echo 1, Foxtrot Sierra Mike. VE1 Oscar Lima, VE1 OL.
Okay, I got 4 stations all together there. Top of the list, we'll take, let me see, well, I'll tell you who I got. I got Victor Echo 1, Foxtrot Oscar X-Ray, VE9 LEN, VE1 FSM, and VE1 OL. Top of the list, Curtis, very good evening. Good to hear you on here. VE1 FOX, VE1 JBL. Come on in.
VE1 JBL with the, oh, mercy sakes. I don't know where we at, Jim. I know we're on the Fusion Net there, yeah. Victor Echo 1, Foxtrot Oscar X-Ray here in 3 Mile Plains. Well, Jim, I haven't been around the rig that much. I'm still having a problem with my ears. Like I say, people sound like they're in a 45-gallon barrel, and the crackling and the blowing and the twisting going on in my head. Look, I'll tell you, I'll be so glad when they get them cleared up, they're back to normal again. Anyways, we can't see too much. Like I say, the radio bothers me ears, so we got to keep it very low. So, and with me talking, I talk loud, well, it just blows me brains a little that I do have. So good evening to all. We'll give it back to you, Jim. Thanks for being there, and we'll carry on down the road, I guess. So Victor Echo 1, Juliet Bravo Lima, Victor Echo 1 Foxtrot Oscar X-Ray, here in 3 Mile Plains. 7-3, Jim. Thanks for calling me in. Thanks for doing the nap. VE1 Foxtrot Oscar X-Ray, Will Clare.
V12 GF, V1 AIC. You were heard both times on the repeater, George. Somebody keeps stepping on you from other repeaters. V1 AIC.
You'll enjoy that once you get things cleaned up there. So thanks, Curtis, for coming in there. Sure do appreciate it there. And thanks for the contact from 3 Miles Plains, 7-3. VE9LEN, VE1 JBL, and I think Lynn's over in Shediac, if I'm not mistaken. VE9LEN, go ahead.
Yeah, VE1 JBL, VE9 returning. Good evening to you there, Jim, and to everybody else on frequency. Yeah, we're located here in downtown Shediac. We had a beautiful sunny day. The snow is melting away bit by bit, but I guess we're not done with snow yet. So they say we're going to get some more tomorrow. So later on tomorrow afternoon until tomorrow night until Friday morning, I guess. So anyway, it is what it is, and winter's not done with us yet. So maybe it's spring, but I think they forgot that spring is around in springtime. So, but anyway, it is what it is. So that's it from here. We enjoyed the day, and I guess we'll have to keep our shovel closed by the door. So back to you, Jim. Thanks for doing the net, and we'll say 7-3. Victor Echo 1 JBL VE9, we're clear. 7-3 all around, everybody.
Yeah, okay, very good, Lynn. Good and everything there. Good to hear you on there at night. Great signal. No problem at all there. And yes, a little snow on the way there, but it's getting late here, so we'll just take it, and hopefully it'll melt away. Thanks very much, and have yourself a great night. Now let's go into Amherst and see Frank. VE1 FSM, the VE1 JBL. Come on.
VE1 JBL, VE1 Foxtrot Sierra Mike. Good evening, Jim. Good evening to everybody on net tonight. And yeah, it's been a beautiful day out. Even yesterday was nice, but tomorrow, not so nice for the sounds of things. Well, I sat there watching the Charlie Yankee Cyril S on Sable Island there last night, scrolling by, but couldn't get through to them. And we'll give it a try maybe this weekend, see what happens. Anyway, Jim, no real traffic, more or less popping in to say hello to you before I run out the door here, so we'll turn it back over to net control. VE1 JBL, VE1 Foxtrot Sierra Mike.
Yeah, okay, very good, Frank. Good and everything there, and hopefully you'll get a contact with them there. I do have a Sable Island card that I got quite a while ago. I don't know which the expedition it was, but I do have one from a long time ago, so maybe I'll try and get in there sometime and see if I can get a new one with them there. So very good. Thanks, Frank, for that reminder, and thanks for coming in. Have yourself a great evening there. Let's go up to Quispam System, see Aubrey, VE1 OL, VE1 JBL. Come on in.
Yeah, hi, Jim. VE1 JBL and the net VE1 OL in Quispamsis, and nice to hear everybody. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for calling me in early. I'm recovering from surgery, so I'm really laying low here and heading for bed here pretty soon, but I'll listen for a while. But it's good to be on here, and everybody's sounding fine. I'm using my FT70 through the FTM300 and Wires X. And I've been using DMR for the first time in the last couple of weeks. I suppose I shouldn't mention that on here, but it's working very well as well. FT8, FT4, sideband, and what have you. But not doing too much of any of it here lately because of the way I feel. Anyway, things I'll find out in a couple of weeks what happens next, and maybe nothing. I hope that's the end of it. Anyway, 73s, and back to you, and everybody have a good night. VE1 OL.
Yeah, okay, very good, Aubrey. Well, I'm sorry you had the operation. I was going to ask you what it is there, but I won't bother over the air there. But hopefully it wasn't too seriously there, and you will recover there for sure. We hate to have the net without John there, so hopefully everything will go well. Thanks, Aubrey. Have yourself a great night there, and 7-3 for now. Okay, we've done short time, and we've done mobile stations. So, I did hear Ron in there. I'm not sure what was going on there. Ron was coming in there while we were talking here. VE1 AIC, VE1 JBL. Are you on frequency there? VE1 AIC, VE1 JBL. I got to go one word out of that, Ron, and you disappeared there, and it was quite broken up there. So I'm not sure what's going on. If you're what's going on there, but anyways, try it one more time.
Yeah, sorry, I was on the HD there. George has been calling in a couple of times, and he keeps getting stepped on. It's awful frustrating. Probably should use like we do on DMR. We just key the mic and it sends your ID instead of everybody talking on top of each other. It'd be one AIC.
Yeah, okay, very good, Ron. He tries every week to get into the net here, and I don't know what his problem is. He comes in before the net starts. He's loud and clear and everything, and he tries. We even set aside a minute for him to actually check in, and we still don't hear him. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'll take standby here right now. VY2GF, VE1JBL. You on frequency there, George?
Victor Echo 1, Juliet Bravo Lima, Victor Yankee 2, Golf Foxtrot is on frequency.
Okay, George, we got you in there now. Go ahead.
Well, heavens, there is a fine person. Anyway, well, it was a quiet day. Did some, shall we say, antenna adjustments on my mobile hustler, and I got two of them to resonate, but the 40 meter one, didn't really. So, all in all, a quiet day, and we'll look forward to the net next Monday. Victor Yankee 2, Golf Foxtrot. Wait now, that's next Wednesday. Victor Yankee 2, Golf Foxtrot.
Yeah, okay, very good, George. Yeah, we got you that time. We were broken up there at the first and broken up at the end there, but we got most of that in the middle there, so good stuff. And good to have you on board there tonight. So thanks very much for coming in, and have yourself a good evening. Okay, since we are starting the rounds here, we will continue with Prince Edward Island. So any other stations from Prince Edward Island that would like to check in the Maritime Fusion Net, come on in.
Okay, Jim, I'll just say QRU 73, V1 AIC.
Yep, okay, very good, Ron. Got you that time, loud and clear. No problem at all there. Okay, very good. Thanks, Ron, for coming in. Have yourself a good night. Thanks very much for the relay for George there. Because yeah, they didn't even show up on the screen here when he was coming in there. So, but we finally got him. So very good. Thanks a lot. 7-3 for now. Okay, with the first round of PEI out of the way, let's go to Nova Scotia. Any stations from Nova Scotia that would like to check in the Maritime Fusion? This is your time. Come on.
Victor Echo 1, India, Quebec.
Victor Echo 1, Juliet Sierra, VE1JS.
Victor Echo 1, Julie Whiskey, V1JW.
Victor Echo 1, Mike Uniform India, VE1MUI.
Victor Echo 1, Delta Sierra Sierra, VE1 DSS.
Okay, that's a good start. I'll tell you who I have here. I have the VE1 KEV, VE1 GPF, VE1 IQ, VE1 JS, VE1 JW, VE1 MUI, and VE1 DSS. Did I miss anybody?
Victor Echo 1, Mike Yankee.
Okay, and I got Mike on the end there, VE1MY. Top of the list, VE1 KEV. Good evening, Kevin.
Yeah, very good evening, Jim. VE1 JBL for the Wednesday Night Fusion Net. VE1 Kilo Echo Victor. Good evening, and good evening to all on the net there tonight. Great sounding crew there, that's for sure. And what are we looking at? 2 degrees, I guess, somewhere in that area. So that's not too bad. Must be the calm before the storm, maybe. I hear we got a little bit of snow maybe coming there tonight, or it's supposed to dip down pretty cold there as well overnight, so we'll have to stay tuned for that one, I guess. Anyway, I had a pretty good day today. Wasn't too bad of temperature there. I just worked around locally, so it wasn't too bad. And as Frank was saying, trying to work Sable Island, so are we as well. So hopefully by the weekend, hopefully we'll be able to get them. That's it from here, Jim. Thank you very much for doing the net. Thanks for calling us in there as well. And Robert got some information there for the meeting there as well. So for the symposium meeting. So anyway, thanks again. 7-3, Jim. Have a great evening there and a great week. 7-3. VE1 JBL, V1 KEV.
Yeah, okay, very good. Kevin, good on everything there, and yeah, trying to get the Sable Island station there. So yeah, hopefully maybe I'll try and get out there this weekend, because I'm supposed to do the exercise handshake here next Tuesday. So I guess I'm going to have to get out in the garage there and get the radios turned on there and warmed up there. So maybe we'll try them sometime on the weekend here too. So very good. Thanks, Kevin. Have yourself a great evening, and look forward to the report from Robert there for sure. 7-3 for now. VE1 GPF, VE1 JBL. Good evening, Gordon. How's things in Smith's Cove tonight?
VE1 JBL, Victor Echo 1 Golf Papa Foxtrot. Well, Jim, they're very nice, really. We had a lovely day. Just beautiful sunshine. There's hardly a speck of snow around, but I guess that might change in the next day or so. I'm absolutely delighted with my discovery of Fusion here in the last few days. Everything seems to be working very well, and I'm having a lot of fun doing the learning. So it's really great. The net sounds so good, and it's nice to be part of it. So thanks very much, Jim. 7-3, Victor Echo 1, Juliet Bravo Lima, Victor Echo 1, Golf Papa Foxtrot.
Yeah, okay, very good, Gordon. No problem at all. Yeah, you're sounding great. Absolutely no problem at all. How did Larry make out? Did he get his radio yet, Gordon?
That's affirmative. He got the radio, but he's really been down with a very bad cold, so he thinks he's going to get it over to my house tomorrow, and I'm going to load it up for him, and I printed him out a bunch of documents here and get him going. So hopefully next week he'll be there, Jim. I think he's going to enjoy himself there. Thanks.
Yeah, okay, very good, Gordon. Good on everything there, and hopefully we'll hear him on in the next week or so there. And it'd be nice to have another Fusion operator on here for sure. 7-3 for now. Okay, let's go down to Greenwood and see Brian. VE1 IQ, VE1 JBL. Come on in.
VE1 JBL, VE1 IQ. Good evening, Jim, and all those on the net. And 3 degrees currently here in Greenwood. Not a half bad day today, and I guess we're looking for a little moisture coming, but you know, it'll pass anyway. And no traffic from here, Jim. Just to check in. VE1 India, Quebec.
VE1IQ, VE1JBL. Okay, very good, Brian. Good and everything there. And Brian, I never did hear back from the Greenwood Club about the repeater, the Fusion repeater there. I don't know what happened there, but I sent them a couple of questions there about the repeater, but I never heard back from them at all there. So I'm not sure if they're answering their emails or what there. But anyways, I had passed that along to you too because I was kind of curious if what was going on with their Fusion repeater up there. But did you didn't hear anything more, did you?
No, not a thing. Okay, let it go with that, Jim. I'll talk to you later.
Yep, okay, very good, Brian. Have yourself a great evening. Thanks very much for coming in. 7-3 for now. VE1JS, VE1JBL. Good evening, Joe.
V1JBL in the net. V1JS, good evening to you, Jim, and good evening to all. Nice day here in Sandy Cove. I didn't do much. That's a good thing. Just thought if anyone listening happens to be in the Digby area on Saturday morning, the Fundy Radio Club will be having its monthly breakfast at the Digby Irving at 10 o'clock. And anybody is welcome should they be in the area. 7-3 for now. VE1JBL, VE1JS, 7-3.
Okay, very good, John. Hopefully they'll all hear you out there. So good stuff. Thanks very much for coming in there tonight, and have yourself a great evening. Okay, let's go to Eric back to Greenwood. VE1JW, I guess more in Kingston. VE1JW, VE1JBL. Come on in.
Yeah, very good, Jim. Yeah, I guess technically, according to the post office, we're North Kingston, but just on the outskirts of Kingston, I guess, and pretty close to Greenwood, so I never worry too much about whether they call it Greenwood, Kingston, North Kingston, or whatever. I figure it's all the same vicinity. It's close enough for government work, as they say. And that, well, we got lucky. I got the Sable Island yesterday on 30 meters, but I haven't been able to catch them anywhere else. I thought I might try and catch them on another band or two, but we were lucky enough to get them on 30 meters yesterday. So I got them once, and I'm happy with that. If I happen to catch them somewhere else another time, then that would be good too, but on another band. But we got them on one. That's the main thing. So that was a new country for me. So got us up to 173 countries, I think, worked so far on FT8s in the last year and a half or 2 years, I guess, now that I've been on. So we're happy with that. Other than that, not too much else here. Just listening with interest. V1JW.
Yeah, okay, very good, very good, very good on everything. Good on Sable Island there, and 30 meters. I was going to ask you, was that digital or code that you got them on there? But it sounds like you got them on FT8 there, so very good. Okay, very good. Thanks very much for coming in there. Have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. Okay, let's go down to Middle West Publico. My goodness, there's a lot of different Publicos. But let's go to Middle West Publico and talk to Matt. VE1MUI, VE1JBL.
VE1JBL and the Fusion Net, VE1MUI. Good evening there, Jim, and everybody on here tonight. Oh, it's a beautiful evening here in Lower West Publico, actually. I don't know why I've updated my QRZ a few times, but it still says Middle West for some reason. But, well, just getting back from a trip here this afternoon. Trip down to Boston. I went in down into Rhode Island yesterday afternoon. It was beautiful. I was there at lunchtime. And it's hard to believe once you get on the southern side of Cape Cod how much the climate changes. It was 22 degrees yesterday afternoon sitting there. Beautiful day. Makes you feel like spring is coming. And that's about it from here. So everybody have a good week. 7-3. V1JBL, VE1MUI.
Yeah, that's very good, Matt. Yeah, it's funny how you don't have to get down there too far, and you can see quite a difference in the change of the temperatures. That's for sure. So hopefully they'll make it up here pretty soon there. And I did change it. You did tell me Lower West Publico, QSL?
Copy, Lower West.
Yeah, okay, very good. Yeah, that's what I have in here now, so very good. Thanks, Matt. Have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. VE1 DSS, VE1 JBL. Good evening, Craig. Sounding good?
Thanks for calling me in, Jim. Thanks for doing the net. Yeah, it was a good day here in Antigonish County. I'm coming in through my FT5 to my FTM 400 as a node now. Upgraded my internet to Starlink and cannot get the ports open for the repeater, so VE1 RMW will be shut down until we get it to its proper site. I'm not sure when that's going to be, but so we're going through my node for now. Spent the morning trying to get the truck safety inspected, and they decided that I needed a whole new brake system in the back, so $1,200. Rather than that, I picked up the parts for $128 and did it myself this afternoon. So saved a few dollars there, and actually only replaced the parts that needed fixing anyway. So that's it from here. Everybody have a great evening, and we'll chat soon. VE1 DSS 7-3.
VE1 DSS in Antigonish. VE1 JBL. Okay, very good, Craig. Good and everything. Listen, Brad, VE1 ZX, he has his repeater set up via Starlink. So you may want to contact him. I think he did have some problems getting it started up there, but his repeater's also running on Starlink there, so you may want to contact him. QSL?
Yeah, thank you. I will do that for sure, although it might give me more incentive to get it into the proper site where it's supposed to be. So, yeah, we'll go that route if we can't get the other fired up soon. Thanks, Jim. The E1 DSS.
Yeah, okay, very good, Craig. Yeah, I don't know if you got his email address or not, but if not, I can give it to you there anytime. So, yeah, if you need the help, let me know, and I'll see if I can get him to help you out there. Okay, very good. 7-3 now. Have yourself a great evening. Let's go back into Amherst and talk to Mike. VE1MY, VE1 JBL.
Good evening, Jim. VE1 JBL, VE1MY. Not much going on here. A lot of work I'm doing here over at the other mother-in-laws, but that's about it. Anyway, 7-3 to all, VE1MY.
Yeah, okay, very good, Mike. Good and everything good, and the mother-in-law there. So, very good. Hopefully everything's going fine out there. That's for sure. So, keep you in the loop there. 7-3. Have yourself a great evening. Okay, that was first round in Nova Scotia. So let's go into New Brunswick. Any stations from New Brunswick that would like to check into the Maritime Fusion Net? Call sign here is VE1 JBL. My name is Jim, located in Tignish Bridge, Nova Scotia. Stations from New Brunswick that would like to check into the net. Go ahead.
Victor Echo 1, Bravo, Charlie, Lima.
Mike Tango Victor, VE9 TV.
Victor Echo 9, Alpha India, VE9 AI. Victor Echo 9, Oscar Sierra Kilo, VE9 OSK.
Okay, I got a few stations to start with there. I got VE1 BCL, VE9 MTV, VE9 AI, and VE9 OSK. Any other stations I would like to check into the net, or any other stations that I missed from New Brunswick? Go ahead.
Victor Echo 9, Golf Charlie, V.
Alpha Lima.
Victor Echo 9, Mike Oscar, VE9 MO.
Okay, I got 3 more stations there. I got Gordon, VE9GC, Paul, VE9PAL, and Malcolm, VE9MO. Top of the list, VE1BCL. Come on.
Yeah, very good evening, Jim. V1JBL on the net from V1 Bravo Charlie Weymouth. I listen most nights. I don't always check in, but I do listen. And had a few good contacts here on Myers X, so system's working good. Other than that, not much going on. Enjoying the transfer to spring is all. Back to you, V1 BCL.
VE1 BCL, VE1 JBL. Okay, very good, Steve. Got everything there. Yeah, you're sounding good from Fredericton there tonight there. So very good. Thanks very much for checking into the net there. And 7-3 for now. Let's go into Irishtown and see Mike, VE9MTV, VE1 JBL.
Yeah, VE1 JBL with the Maritime Fusion Net VE9MTV. Good evening, Jim. Good evening to everybody else checking in there. Paul and everybody else. And also Gary there from Fredericton. And, yeah, heard George there in for the first time since a long time. He was having a lot of problems getting into the Fusion Net for sure. Yeah, beautiful day here. Still +1 here. And I looked at the evening news there, and I think we're only going to get 5 to 10 centimeters here overnight there. So hopefully hopefully he's right. We don't have to shovel too much. Good wet snow, I guess. So yeah, snowman stuff and snowball stuff. Yeah. Other than that, working on little projects here and there, and keeping busy. That's about it from here. Have yourself a good net there, Jim, and thanks for doing the net. 7-3 to all. Have a good week. VE1JBL, VE9MTV.
VE9MTV, VE1JBL. Okay, very good, Mike. Good and everything there. Yeah, I think we're in the same band of snow you guys are. I think they're giving 5 to 10 wet snow, so hopefully it's not that much because, yeah, I won't be shoveling that wet snow. They're saying it's supposed to be quite heavy and wet, so of course the snowblower won't be any good for the snowblower, and I don't plan on shoveling too much, so we'll see how it works out tomorrow there. So very good. Thanks very much for coming in. Have yourself a great evening. 7-3 now. Let's go back up to Fredericton, and I guess while I bring in Gary here, I just want to mention that we just received a gas card for $50 from the Fredericton Amateur Radio Club for Smart. So that'll be one of the door prizes that will be given out this year at Smart, is a $50 gas card from the Fredericton Amateur Radio Club. So we really appreciate the club for getting us that donation for Smart. Good morning, Gary, VE9AI, VE1JBL.
VE1 JBL Net Control, VE9AI, Gary in Fredericton, coming through my personal node tonight. And anyway, not too much new here. Been mostly doing painting jobs, stuff in the house, odd jobs, and working at the neighbors up the street. He had a few problems with stuff, his furnace and whatnot. So anyway, we got him straightened out. So not too much outside of the home here, I guess, right now. So anyway, we'll say good evening to one and all on frequency. Everybody have a great week, and good to hear Mike in there and ahead of me there. So anyway, everyone have a great week, and we'll be on here next week. VE9AI, back to net control.
Yeah, okay, very good, Gary. Good at everything there, and thanks very much, as usual, for coming in tonight. You're one of our regulars here, so thanks very much for taking part there, 7-3. Let's go into DFNC Oscar, VE9OSK, VE1JBL. Come on in.
V9 JBL, V9 Oscar Sierra Kilo. Good evening, Jim, and everybody on the Fusion Net tonight. Had a good day today. We had a little get-together as we usually do at the clubhouse every Wednesday morning. So Grove there this morning and doing a bit of chatting and always a little bit of planning there, a little bit of everything there. It was a good day, lots of sun, not much cloud. I guess we'll pay for that tomorrow there. Thanks for doing that, Jim, and thanks for calling me in. 7-3. Victor Echo 9, Oscar Sierra Kilo.
VE9OSK, VE1JBL. Okay, very good, Oscar. Very good on everything there. Thanks very much for coming into the net there, and have yourself a great week there. 7-3 for now. Okay, let's go into Irishtown again for the chicken of the Three Musketeers here. So VE9GC, VE1JBL. Good evening, Gordon.
VE1JBL with the Wednesday Night Fusion Net, VE9GC. Good morning there, Jim. My neighbors Paul and Mike and everybody else that's checked in there as well. Yeah, it's nice to be sitting here working from the home station for a change, using the 991 for the MFR repeater here in Moncton. Got my HRI 200 node is being relocated in the shack, so it's off the air for the moment, and the FT3 PDN cable, etc., is still in my suitcase because it's going back on the road again tomorrow morning. Anyway, thanks for doing the net. Thanks for calling me in. It looks like it was a great day here. I came up from Halifax and the traffic wasn't bad, and the sun's shining, and actually had the air conditioner kicked in because the sun was heating up the car too much. We'll wait and see what we get tomorrow or overnight, because I'm on my way down to Rothesay, St. John, and Fredericton tomorrow. So here's hoping that the weather isn't too bad. Anyway, thanks for doing the net, Jim. Thanks for calling me in, and I look forward to being able to check in next Wednesday night from, I think, where I'm not sure where I'm going to be next Wednesday night, or even if I'm going to be able to check in. Anyway, VE1JBL, VE9GC.
Yeah, okay, very good, Gordon, and good on everything there in the shack, the changes of the shack and everything, so good. And yeah, I was kind of curious where you're going to be there next week, but I guess we'll wait and see. And actually, I'm doing the net again next week, Gordon, so I'll be chatting with you then. There's five Wednesdays in March, so everybody has their week that they do it, and then and if there's the extra fifth week, I always fill that one in so that everything stays the same for the rest of the month there. So we'll be doing the net next Wednesday night there. Thanks, Gordon. Have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. And the third, and the 1, 2, 3 of the Musketeers, Paul, VE9PAL, VE1JBL. Good evening.
Yeah, VE1JBL, this is VE9PAL. How you doing there, Jim, Gordon, and Mike, and Gary, and everybody else on the net? Yeah, she's not too bad. There's 0 degrees there. Yeah, I think I heard the same thing. We're not going to get too much in this area. Hopefully not, anyway. It's like you said, it's no use going out there. All I'll see is tail and or gravel just flying into my lawn, so I might as well just leave it there. Anyway, you guys all take care. Have a great week. V9PAL.
Yeah, very good, Paul. Yeah, and I just have gravel in the driveway here. I know it's not paved or anything, and yeah, and I've got my snow blower set up as far as it'll go on the with the things on the bottom there that bring it out. Mine are actually at the very top, so that I have a good inch or something of snow that still lays behind when I go through it because there's so much gravel in the yard here. So I'm careful that way for sure. So very good. Thanks, Paul. Have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. Okay, let's go back up to the Fredericton area and see Malcolm, VE9MO, VE1JBL. Good evening.
VE1JBL in the group, VE9 Mike Oscar, Malcolm, and Hanwell. Just thought I'd come down to the shack and look to see where the Sable Island DXers are on the air. So anyway, just messing around with the HF rig here in the shack, so I heard you on, so I thought I'd check into the net. So I haven't been checking in a lot lately, so thought I'd better do my part. Anyway, hopefully everyone has a good rest of the week, and 7-3 all. VE9 Mike Oscar.
Yeah, okay, very good, Malcolm, good and everything. Is the Sable Island crew showing up in the DX box there anywhere, Malcolm?
They are. They're on. I guess they're a little bit on 6 and a little bit on 10 and 15 as well. So I think they have a few folks on several bands. So I guess there's opportunity out there. So anyway, thanks a lot. 10-3.
Oh, very good. Okay, yep. So maybe some of the guys listening might want to try 10, 15, or even 6. Yeah, I wish I was out there right now. I'd turn that beam around of mine and try them on there, 6. So very good. Okay, Malcolm, very good. Thanks very much. Have yourself a great evening, 7-3 for now. Okay, with that, we've done one round of the Maritime provinces. Let's open it up for everybody outside the Maritimes. I know Francis is in there. I've seen his note on here, I'm pretty sure. But anybody else who would like to check in the Maritime Fusion Net from outside the Maritimes, outside the Maritime stations, this is your time. Come on in.
Victor Alpha 6, Foxtrot Papa, VA6 FP.
Okay, I got Francis in there, VA6FP. Anybody else from outside the Maritimes that would like to check into the Fusion Net? Go ahead. Well, Francis, the floor is yours. It's all yours. Come on in.
VE1 JBL for the Maritime Fusion Net from VA6FP in Wainwright, Alberta. Good evening to you, Jim. Good evening to everyone back home in the Maritimes. Well, it's one of those days out here on the prairies. It's, as they say, the looks can be deceiving. Beautiful sunshine. Thermometer is saying -1.1 degrees Celsius, but let me tell you, when you go out there, that wind is some cool, and it feels a lot more, well, the thermometer says with the wind chill it's supposed to be -10, but by God, it seems a lot colder than that. Must be getting too wimpy lately. Other than that, winter is kind of dragging on. It's taken an awful long time to melt the snow here. We still have, on average, about, pretty well 30 centimeters of snow, so we'll have to wait and see if we're ever going to get some melting. I hope it doesn't melt too fast, because we're on the part where our subdivision is here. Is the ground is not exactly great for absorbing the water, so I don't need any water in the basement. Last thing I need in the shack. Wish I had a beam set up, Jim. I've been listening to you guys talk about the Sable Island station, and man, I would love to make contact with them, but we're not quite set up for that yet here. Haven't got my vertical up yet. Sitting in the garage, just waiting for the snow to melt so I can get good ground system set up here for that, but I guess I'll have to wait. Coming soon, as they say, but we'll leave it at that. Thanks once again for allowing us to check in. Great job as always doing the net. Thanks so much, Jim. And hope yourselves have a great week ahead and weekend as well. Take care for now. 7-3 all around. VE1 JBL from VA6FP.
Yeah, okay, very good, Francis. Good and everything there. And yeah, we had that here yesterday or the day before. I can't remember now. I think it was the day before yesterday. It looked beautiful. The sun was out. It just looked absolutely wonderful. My goodness, when I went outside there, I thought I was going to, and I was only on the deck. It's not as if I walked out in the yard or anything. I was just on the front deck to see how nice it was. Well, I wasn't out there very long. I just filled up the bird feeders, and by the time I come back in, my hands were frozen. So we didn't go too far that day, for sure, Francis. No walking on that day, but anyways. But yeah, it can be surprising, that's for sure. Anyways, thanks, Francis, for coming in. Have yourself a great weekend. We'll probably hear you next weekend there for sure. VA6FP, VE1JB, all clear. Okay, with that, we're going to start the second round of the Maritime Fusion Net, so we'll go back to Prince Edward Island. Any stations from Prince Edward Island would like to check into the Maritime Fusion Net, this is your time. Come on in. second round, any stations from Prince Edward Island, any other stations from Prince Edward Island that would like to check into the Maritime Fusion Net? I haven't heard Sterling on for a while, so I thought he might be out there tonight there. But anyways, any other stations from PEI that would like to check into this net? Go ahead. Okay, nothing heard. We'll go back to Nova Scotia. Second round of stations from Nova Scotia that might check into the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead, guys.
VA1 Victor Charlie. Era VE1 DES. VE1 GUI.
Okay, I got three fine gentlemen that time. I got VA1 Victor Charlie, VE1 DES, and VE1 GUI. Any other stations from Nova Scotia? Stations from Nova Scotia that like check in the Maritime Fusion Net. Did I miss anybody? Go ahead. I guess not, so we'll go to the top of the list. VA1 Victor Charlie with the latest wildlife report. VE1 JBL, and Don, I don't know if you watched the news yesterday, but they had a gentleman from Coal Pits Settlement up in New Brunswick there, got himself a gray squirrel up there. He got when it was very tiny, brought it home, and it's just like a pet with him now in the house there. I don't know if you saw that on the news or not there, but there was quite a little story on the news there today. VE1 Victor Charlie, VE1 JBL, come on in.
Yeah, good evening, Jim, and everyone on the net. Yeah, I did see that, but I might have a bit of a problem with that because you can't be fair to one and not fair to the other. So I got about 6 grays, 2 blacks, maybe half a dozen reds, 3 or 4 chipmunks, and that's not counting anything else like bird life. I wouldn't want that in the house anyway, or bloody old raccoons and stuff. But anyway, I was just watching here a minute ago. One deer come up here, start eating some of the seed on the ground, and I'm still trying to determine. I know I got a buck in the bunch, but he's always by himself, and this one was too. But it's hard for me to tell. When he goes to urinate, I can tell now, but if he was standing with the does, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference, and somebody's going to have to tell me sometime how I can tell the difference. When he's got his horns out, I definitely know, but boy, they're pretty hard to tell the difference, but he's really filling out now, so some deer hunter's going to be out there looking for him. But this morning I had some seeds out there, and all of a sudden one deer come, and then the 8 come. So I had 8 out there going all around it. And just before they came this morning, the squirrels were going nuts. The grays and the blacks and the reds and the chipmunks, there was seeds for them everywhere. They didn't have to worry about not getting nothing to eat, but they were chasing each other, falling out of the trees and everything. Then the deer come, and they thought, no, these deer ain't taking over. This is our seed. We're going to eat it. So they tried to challenge the deer, even ran up behind their legs and stuff and spooked them a little bit. But the deer did go away for a minute or two. But then they thought, what are we giving this all up for them little things there? So they come back. And they started hoping at the deer, at the squirrel. So they decided this was more than a match than what they could take on. So they took off. But yeah, I would imagine most everything's getting impregnated now. I've seen the squirrels up there, the grays doing it for the first time. I've never seen reds do it. I definitely saw the squirrels, 2 gray squirrels do it the other day. They chase each other around the tree, up the tree, down the tree, around the tree, and I don't know how many times they did it. So finally, he chased her right into the tree. I don't know if he knocked her out, but anyway, her head was down a little bit. I could see that. She couldn't go anywhere more, and he went right at it. So I thought, okay, there's going to be some more gray squirrels around, but there seems to be almost a guarantee there now. But anyway, yeah, I guess spring comes when the squirrels go nuts, and they're going nuts now. I only saw 6 or 8 ducks or geese the other day. I couldn't tell what they was, but and Curtis says he's seen some robins. I thought I heard one, but my ground's still frozen. He says he's got thawed land out there where he is, and I forget where Curtis lives now, 3 Mile Plains, and definitely no soft ground here yet. Anyway, yeah, the animals are out there and enjoying everything. So I guess I timed it out. But anyway, I'll leave that last story about the hikers for another day. Catch you later, Jim. Thanks for calling me.
VE1 Victor Charlie, VE1 JBL. Well, if anything, you're good for a laugh, Don. My goodness, that's good stories. Yeah, good stories for sure there. Yeah, you know, I had no idea there was gray squirrels down here in the Maritimes. The only place that I've ever seen gray squirrels was in Boston, Massachusetts. I saw some there, and I saw some up in Toronto. But I didn't have any idea there was any gray squirrels in the Maritimes until I saw this story on yesterday up in New Brunswick, and I said, wow. I said, okay, I had no idea. Now you're telling me that you've had them. I've never seen a gray squirrel around here. The only thing we got here is the little red squirrels and even chipmunks. Now, I haven't seen chipmunks in the last 2 years here. I had a whole family of chipmunks here 1 year, but I haven't seen any chipmunks now for the last 2 years here. So, but we got lots of squirrels, lots of red squirrels. They're all over the place here. So lots of them, of course. And yeah, and we got to be worried about the geese and everything returning this year. Don, I already seen a news clip from Toronto that they're finding all kinds of Canada geese and other ducks dead in the Toronto area. They're just dropping, and they say it's all from that avian flu or whatever. So. Oh, I hope it's not going to be a bad sign for us down here this year. But of course, they're already saying to take your bird feeders in and everything. But I haven't seen any wild birds in here yet, just the local chickadees. So we'll keep an eye on it there. But that's bad stuff, boy. Especially if they're finding a whole bunch of Canada geese dead already in the Toronto area there. So we'll have to keep an eye on things. Very good, Don. Thanks very much for coming in. Always enjoy the wildlife report there. So 7-3 for now. Have yourself a great weekend. VE1 DES, VE1 JBL. Don, very good evening from down in Yarmouth. Go ahead.
Everyone, Charlie Alpha. VE1 DES, good evening. Good evening to all the folks that checked in. Yeah, they've already destroyed about a dozen chickens up here in Port Maitland. They had that avian flu rather. So it is spreading, and it's been a few years now that they've been warning people not to feed the birds, but it looks so nice, people find it hard to give up that hobby. Nothing else, V1 Charlie Alpha, V1 DES.
Yeah, okay, very good, very good. Yeah, especially this time of year here, because they're still relying quite heavily on birdseed right now. And like I said, I haven't seen anything out of the ordinary here. Still just the chickadees and the woodhatches that are coming to our feeders. So I haven't seen anything that would be considered, not here all winter. I haven't even seen any robins yet. So Don was saying he's seen some robins, or somebody's seen some robins, but I haven't even seen any robins yet. So hopefully that flu didn't catch up with them, and hopefully they're on the way there. But anyways, okay, very good, Don. Thanks very much for coming in. Have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. Okay, let's go down to see Joe, VE1GUI, VE1JBL. Come on in.
VE1JBL, VE1GUI. Good evening, Jim. Good evening to everybody here on the Fusion Net here tonight. Well, yeah, it's been a pretty good day here. I think we ended up around 10 or 10.2 or something like that today, and yeah, a little breeze going, not too bad though. You could almost go out with your short sleeve shirt on, but you could if you was tough. I'm not very tough, so I had to put a little extra on, so. Anyway, other than that, that's been pretty good. Yeah, we had a flock of crossbeak. The bottom beak overlaps the top beak. And like a little parrot-looking thing, but they say they come from Newfoundland or somewhere there, so. There was a whole flock of them there last year, not this year yet, not so far. But I said, man, it's a funny-looking bird. I walked right out to the bird feeder, and, well, I could almost, I could touch it on the head, just like it was. Didn't know about humans or something, and just let me touch it, or pretty well touch it, and I could walk pretty well out to them, but after a while they didn't care about me, they kind of flew off after a while, but I could get pretty close to them. And yeah, we got a lot of red squirrels. What we got, yeah, I did go in New Brunswick there 1 year, quite a while back, and there was, man, the squirrels almost big as a cat up there, so walking along the boardwalk. Oh, I said, man, that cannot be a squirrel, man. That big long tail on it, big bushy thing, big gray one. So, anyway, and the robin, yeah, I see a robin or two over here yesterday. So, nothing today so far. Of course, today's pretty well gone anyway. Other than that, everything's pretty good. Thanks for calling me in. V1GY.
Yeah, okay, very good, Joe. Good and everything. Yeah, you're way down there in the south there in Nova Scotia, so you should be getting some of these birds coming in first, I guess, before the rest of us there. So good stuff. Yeah, you're a good barometer to have for all that stuff coming in there. So good stuff. Thanks, Joe, for coming in. Have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. Okay, that's the second round of Nova Scotia. Let's go back up into New Brunswick and do the second round from New Brunswick. Stations from New Brunswick. Let's check into the Maritime Fusion Net. This is your time. Come on in.
Victor Echo 9 Echo Uniform Victor Mobile VE9 EUV Mobile.
VE1 Tango United.
Okay, I got three stations that time. We got VE9 VEA, VE9 EUV, VE1 Tango United. Any other stations that I missed from New Brunswick? Stations from New Brunswick, go ahead. Nothing heard. Could be a short net tonight. We'll take the mobile station first. Mark VE9 EUV, VE1 JBL. And how's the young fella coming in the with cadets there? Go ahead.
VE1 JBL VE9 EUV Mobile. Good evening, Jim, and everyone else there on frequency. Been listening along here. Yeah, young fellas like cadets, so I'm just hanging out here in the truck with the dogs. She's bored. I told her she didn't want to come, but she was insistent she was coming. So anyway, she's taking a nap in the back seat. And he's enjoying the cadets. Kind of changed a bit since back when I was in it, but he's been doing it since December. They still haven't gotten him a full uniform, which I thought was kind of funny. But they have supply issues too, I guess. But he's going to the events and he's being on the marksmanship team and all that kind of stuff. So he's having fun with it. And it's nice these days are getting longer. It's only just starting to get a little dusky now, which a couple weeks ago was not the case. So spring is definitely here, and hopefully the warm weather starts to move its way up as well. We're looking forward to that. We've been restoring an old '89 Yamaha 250 ATV, one of the Moto 4s, and that's been a little project the boys and I have been working on, and it's up and running, and we're having a little fun with it now. So now we got to get it registered and get a trail pass, and hopefully we'll have some fun on that this summer. Anyway, Jim, I'll give it back to you there. You got a few more stations there behind me, so 7-3 to everyone, and hope you have a good rest of your week. VE9 EV Mobile, back to net.
VE9 EUV, VE1 JBL. Okay, very good, Mark. No problem at all there, and good on the project, and good on the young fellow there enjoying the cadets there. I know you were wondering how he was going to make it there, but I'm glad he's enjoying it there for sure. So very good. Yeah, we've gained probably 3 hours. I guess we're into the spring equinox now, so we've gained probably 3 hours here between the morning and the evenings here. So it makes quite a difference, that's for sure. And actually, the other day, for the first time, I got to go for an evening walk. I always would go for a morning walk and an evening walk, but of course in the winter time you don't. But I think it was maybe it was yesterday or the day before. I think maybe it was yesterday. After supper, the sun was still up. So, I went out and put my boots on and went for another walk up the road there. That was my first time this year. So, I like that this time of year when I can go for my evening walk there after supper there. So, great to see the sun and the daylight for sure. Thanks, Mark. Have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. Okay, let's go all the way up to Trackety and see Vern. VE9 VEA, VE1 JBL. Good evening, bud.
E1 JBL Wednesday Night Fusion Net Control. Good evening, Mr. Jim, and good evening to all fine, outstanding, upstanding hams on frequency. Jim, great net you're going. We got in, I think we were a little bit late getting in there tonight, but we finally, we got everything going okay. Anyhow, Jim, as the thing goes there, I'm glad to hear the wing commander's doing good and enjoying the cadets there, so that's a good news to hear. And go from there. Jim, used to have quite a few squirrels come around here, but don't see too many now, and I don't know why for sure, but I'm still the same. Anyhow, Jim, we used to have quite a few squirrels come around here. They thought it was nuts, so they were hungry, so there you go. That's why squirrels come around, maybe. I don't know. Anyhow, Jim, all I can tell you is great net you got going. Oh, one more question, Jim. I thought I heard VE1CA, Don, and Rob got VE1CA now. I just wondered how that come about. So we'll wish everybody good evening and a great wake-up call tomorrow. 7-3 to all, 88 to ladies, special good evening scanner listeners. Turn it back to the VE1JBL net control. V9 Victor Echo Alpha, 7-3 Jim, thanks for doing that, calling us in. Hopefully we'll be around again next week to agree with everybody a little bit more. 7-3 all, bye-bye.
VE9, VE8, VE1, JBL. Okay, very good. Vern, good on everything there. You're sounding good there tonight and good on the squirrels there and everything. Well, as far as I know, Rob's he's got the calls on VE1 Charlie Alpha now, and I think the gentleman who had that before him probably passed away. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, Vern, but I would imagine that's what happened. I know there's a VA1 Charlie Alpha, if I'm not mistaken. I think his name is Claude or something like that, but I'm pretty sure that the one that Robert has now, VE1 Charlie Alpha, that person probably passed away, but I'm not 100% sure, Vern. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, Jim, thanks a lot. 7-3.
Okay, very good, Vern. Have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. Let's go into, where are we at here? Tango United, VE1TU, VE1 JBL. Dennis, I think you're up in the Fredericton area too, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead.
VE1 JBL, this is VE1 Tango United. Good evening, Jim. Good evening to all on the net. And the name is Dennis and location is Fredericton. Had a beautiful day here today, lots of sunshine, and the temperature on the deck got up to 10 this afternoon, so that's pretty good. And not much snow left. There's mostly just the banks from the snow plowing. It's gradually going away. Didn't do too much else, Jim. Watched a little TV and got the day in. So we'll turn it back to you. This is VE1 Tango United.
Okay, very good. This VE1 Tango United, VE1 JBL, good at everything there, and good on the snowbanks, all that's left there. And Garrett, or Steve was in earlier this evening. He was in the first round. Dennis, Steve got in there, so I was wondering if you were around or not there. So we got you both in there. So good stuff. Yeah, I've been watching quite a bit of TV here lately. Well, actually, this week, Dennis, I watched the curling. The women's world curling's on there right now. Boy, there's some good curlers on there. So we watched that, and then in another couple of weeks it'll be the men's, the world spins will be on there. So we'll keep an eye on that. And of course, the Blue Jays are on. The hockey is on. All kinds of sports on, Dennis, so great time of year if you're a sports person, that's for sure. Have yourself a great evening. Thanks very much for coming in, and talk to you again, 7-3 for now. Okay, with that, we've completed 2 rounds of the Maritime Fusion Net there for all the provinces. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to open it up for anybody anywhere, inside or outside the Maritimes, that would like to check into the Maritime Fusion Net. Go ahead.
Victor Echo 1, Charlie Alpha.
Zulu Bravo. Victor Oscar 1, Kilo Juliet Mike, Moncton.
Okay, I got 3 stations that time. I got 2 from Oxford, VE1 Charlie Alpha and VE1 Zulu Bravo, and I got Ken, I think it is, VO1 KJM from up in Moncton. Any other stations? Did I miss anybody for the Maritime Fusion Net? Go ahead. Nothing heard. Let's start with Robert, VE1CA, VE1JBL. Go ahead.
VE1JBL, VE1 Charlie Alpha. Good evening to you, Jim, and Mike in there. And I did hear part of Vern there talking about my call sign. Good evening to him as well, way up there. And just to kind of fill him in, I did the usual process. After 5 years, you can apply for 2 letters. So I went looking back in October and kind of made a short list, and that was one of the ones on there. And when it came time to look again, I looked, and I was still liking that call sign, so I picked it out and I got it, and that's how that goes. Paid my money and I got that, and of course I'm still keeping my other call sign there. Anyway, not too much else to report here in Oxford. It was a busy day there at work, and nice weather outside, and we'll see what we get this weather that might be coming later on tomorrow and maybe into the weekend, but it's still hard to say what we're really gonna get. I don't think we're gonna see too much there. Anyway, won't keep it any longer there. Hope everybody has a great evening. 7-3, V1 JBL, VE1 Charlie Alpha.
Yeah, okay, very good, Robert. Good and everything there. Yeah, no problem at all there. And I don't know if Vern ever goes to the Maritime Amateur website there, but I've been keeping up track of all the obituaries since 2008. 2008 when I started looking after the obituaries there for all the Maritimes there. And if you went back a few years, Vern, you might be able to find the VE1 Charlie Alpha in there someplace if you go back through those obituaries that I have on there, but I can't think of it right offhand. But anyways, good, Robert. No problem at all there. Good to have you on board there. Thanks very much, and have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. Oh, and I did hear that from Kevin that you did get some news about the Smart, so maybe we'll talk about that another time there. 7-3 now. And Mike, VE1 Zulu Bravo, VE1 JBL, good evening.
VE1 JBL, VE1 Zulu Bravo. Good evening, Jim. Hello to everybody else on frequency. Yeah, great day for a road trip. We were on the road all day, went to Dubasco and had to go down and pick up a accessory for one of my trucks, and then we ended up going to Amherst and home again. And so that pretty much filled the day. And nothing further, and thanks for checking in, VE1 Zulu Bravo.
VE1 Zulu Bravo, VE1 JBL. Okay, very good, Mike. Good and everything. Boy, you do like to do traveling, that's for sure. And like I think I've mentioned to you before, there since COVID, I think as far as we go is Dorchester for some fish and chips up there in the little market up there in Dorchester. That's as far as we've gone, I think, since 2019. I think we may have gone to Wentworth. I think we went down to the park a couple of times in Wentworth, but that's about it there. So, anyways, of course, we're heading to Newfoundland this year, so we're going to spend 12 days over there. So we're going to explore all the West Coast there. So that'll be our first trip since 2019. So we're really looking forward to that there for sure. So, anyways, have yourself a great evening. 7-3 for now. And Ken, I think it is VO1 KJM in Moncton, VE1 JBL. Come on in.
VE1JBL, VO1KJM, Portable VE9, Metro Moncton. Good evening, you, Jim, and everybody on frequency this evening. No traffic report from here in downtown Moncton, and I guess like everybody, we're looking forward to the spring that has sprung. And with that, sir, I have nothing else to say for the evening, and 7-3, good night.
Yeah, okay, very good. Again, no problem at all. Good to have you on board there, and thanks very much for taking part. Okay, the only announcement I have for anybody out there, of course, the SMERT is continuing. We'll be on in May 6th there, and more information about SMERT, more information about the Sable Island group there, and more information about other news. Go to the Maritime Amateur website at www.maritimeamateur.ca. And you'll find all the information about those above items there. So, and I think there's even I think there's a station operating out of Alert right now up in the Northwest Territories, and the information about that is also on the Maritime Amateur website. So check out the news and information on the Maritime Amateur, and you'll see all the info about those things. Okay, with that, let's open it up again for any light stations anywheres. Light stations anywheres. I would like to check into the Maritime Fusion Net, inside or outside the Maritimes. Go ahead. And nothing heard, so we're going to make this the last call. This will be the last call for the Maritime Fusion Net for March the 22nd, the first net of spring. 2023, so that's a great start, that's for sure. So last call for the Maritime Fusion Net for March the 22nd. Last call, go ahead.
Victor Alpha 1, Bravo, India Lima, VA1 BIL.
Hi, Bill. I guess you're going to put the ribbon on the net there tonight. There, you're going to wrap her up. VA1 BIL, VE1 JBL. Come on in.
VE1 JBL, VA1 BIL. Good evening, Jim. Believe it or not, I just finished late supper and I ran down and I turned on the radio and I just made it. So that's great. So yeah, great. I hope you had a good nap. I didn't hear any of it. Anyway, 7-3, and hopefully make it next week. VE1 JBL, this is VA1 BIL.
Yeah, okay, very good, Bill. I'm glad you got in here for sure. Yeah, we ended up with 33, so that's a pretty good net there tonight there, so very good. Thanks, Bill, for coming in. Have yourself a great evening, 7-3 for now. Okay, with that, like I say, we ended up with 33 check-ins tonight. We want to thank all the amateurs for checking in tonight. We also want to thank the owners of the repeaters and the nodes who linked in tonight to help us expand the area for local hams to check in. For more information about the Maritime Fusion Net, go to the Moncton Area ARC website at www.maarc.ca. That's whiskey.Mike Alpha Alpha Romeo Charlie at Charlie Alpha. And click on Club Activities and /nets. Now that the net is concluded, the CQ Maritimes room is open for general use. This is VE1 JBL. My name is Jim Dignish Bridge, signing off. Good night, all.
Charlie Bravo.
VE1 Charlie Bravo, VE1 JBL. Good evening, Claude. Just under the wire. Come on in.
Yeah, I tried and I looked and I guess I was transmitting on not on Fusion. Yes, that was normal. Anyway, good evening, Jim, and good evening to everybody that might still be listening. And the station is coming from the Florida section of Nova Scotia. Hi. Plus 10 today. Tomorrow, I guess we have a liquid sunshine. VE1 Charlie Bravo.
Yeah, okay, very good, Claude. VE1 Charlie Bravo, VE1 JBL. Yeah, I guess you guys are supposed to get nothing but rain there tomorrow, so good stuff. I think we're supposed to get 5 to 10, I think it is, but very wet snow. So it's going to be heavy up here. So I won't be shoveling. I'm going to leave that to Mother Nature to take care of that wet and heavy stuff there for sure. But it's only 5 to 10, so that's nothing. So anyways, yeah, I hear you guys are going to get nothing but rain down there. So yeah, very good. That'll keep all that snow off the palm trees down there in Tusky. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. You can hear the bananas crinkling.
Yeah, for sure. I still remember they planted 4 palm trees in Halifax there a couple years ago. I don't know. I never hear too much about them now, Claude. But I know they did bring up 4 palm trees and put them someplace in the Halifax area. I don't think it was in the gardens, but they did plant them somewheres. But I never heard anything more from them. I don't know if they ever made it through the winters or not.
I don't know. Anyway, Jim, thanks very much and for leaving the crack open in the door so I could get in before you shut her down. Anyway, thank you, 7-3, and have a good day. Or a good evening. VE1, JBL, VE1, Charlie Bravo, 7-3.
Yeah, okay, very good, Claude. Yeah, you made 34 there, so thanks very much for getting in on the net here, 7-3. Okay, this is VE1 JBL clear, front of the Maritime Fusion Net, but still monitoring CQ Maritime's room, 7-3, guys.